We started? Okay. This is
Wait,
going to be your
you
first...
have to introduce yourself.
My name is Derek Henson, wife of Talia Henson, father of Derek and Amari Henson. What I'm about to show you is one of the first lessons I got from Ida Mae on how to cook cheap. Because you know what? We're broke. And we're still broke. So here we have our traditional skittle over here. Because, of course, when I was growing up, the oven didn't work that much. You know? Being that my mom was always cooking pig feet and black-eyed peas for my dad. So we really couldn't eat anything on the grill, on the oven. You know, because my dad had to eat first. And yes, he did get the big piece of chicken. So anyway, we got the traditional little griddle. Alright, so we're starting off with English muffins this morning. But I call these Nigglish muffins because we're black. So, you got English muffin here. What you do is you start them off toasting. Notice we're only using one kitchen utensil to cook the entire meal. You know, we're not using our toaster. We're not using our oven. We're using this griddle. Alright? So we got the English muffins turned down.
It's a McGriddle? Like McDonald's?
It's a Nigglish.
Oh, Nigglish, okay.
A Nigglish.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Use your imagination. Nigglish. Alright? So we got the English muffin. We turn the English muffin face down. While the English muffin is toasting, we butter the top of the English muffin. Let the butter get into it, okay? But of course, when I was a kid, we couldn't afford butter. We had margarine. But now that our kid made a come up a little bit, we got butter. So you butter the top of the English muffin, let the butter melt into it. While the bottom is toasting, you flip it over and see. Of course, you got a golden brown toast on the other side. All right. So of course, once all pieces of the English muffin are turned up like this, you butter this side down. Of course, let the bottom toast over. Then you flip it back. Okay. English muffins always go on first because they're not going to burn. They're just not going to burn. All right. Plus, you can never get too toasted when you're talking about an English muffin. All right. Secondly, you put your sausages on. The sausages are only browned and served, so they're already cooked. All you want to do is brown them and just heat them up a little bit. So they'll go on about maybe at the same time, maybe a minute or two after your English muffins. All right. Lastly, you put your eggs on. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure your eggs are cooked nice and good, because you're going to, like I said, you're making an English muffin. What you don't want is you don't want to bite into your English muffin and have yolk shoot all over your lap. All right.
Squirt in your face.
Yeah, you don't want to have yolk squirt in your face. We're not all women here. So, you put your eggs on last, season them down accordingly, whatever you want, etc. You make sure you don't have little kids all in your way, like little Tippy reincarnates. Tippy reincarnates that want to wear Michael Jackson hats. You don't want to have that running around. Alright? Now, of course, we want to add our cheese. This is just something that I come into, cheese, as I grew up, because when we were kids, we couldn't afford cheese. You couldn't cut that block of cheese fast enough to put it on the English muffin. But since I got a job, we can afford American cheese now. So we place our American cheese. What we're going to do is, we're going to place our American cheese on our sausages. Like so. Let that bake a little bit. We're almost done now. So of course, so when you put that American cheese on there, that basically gives you about a 1 minute cutoff time. In about a minute, you have to make this sandwich and start getting real with it, okay? Notice our cheese is melting on top of our sausage. So what I'm going to do now is our English muffins are pretty much done toasted. I'm going to turn our English muffins up. Look at that brown. Look at that golden brown right there. Look at that golden brown.
Beautiful.
Not to mention, I save money on electric by not using the toaster. So
that's a good tip.
We got our English muffin ready. You always want to put your sausage on the smaller part of the English muffin, because when you bite into your egg, you don't want your yolk to spill out over this small piece of English muffin. All right. So there you go. Egg on top. So it's sausage, cheese, then egg. All right. That way, your cheese is melting from both sides. Now, you complete your sandwich, and you just let it sit there for about 10 seconds until you're able to find a nice paper plate, because we don't want to wash dishes and run up water either.
We don't have any.
But we don't have any paper plates. So the next best thing is, you go and look for your wife's plate that she used. That way you don't have to wash it twice.
Wife didn't have a plate.
Well, his wife didn't have a plate either.
She used paper towel.
We're not using paper towels for these. These are going to be too good. So we get a regular plate. We'll have to just suck it up. Oh, look at that. Oh, no!
Uh-oh, man down.
There we go. See? Now you have 2 sausage, egg, and cheese muffins. And I didn't even have to leave
Muffins.
Muffins. And I didn't even have to leave the house and make McDonald's any richer. Oh, and don't forget your cup of coffee in your favorite airborne mug.